In a small mountain village, there lived a young sculptor named Dan. He dreamed of carving the most beautiful statue ever made, one that would make people remember his name. He found a giant piece of marble at the edge of the mountain and began his work. Every morning he'd climb up with his tools and start chiseling away, one stroke at a time. For days, the sound of his hammer echoed across the valley, but so did the voices of people below. Who does he think he is? He'll ruin that marble. He's wasting his time. At first, Dan ignored them, but slowly their words began to echo louder than his hammer. One morning as he worked, Dan looked at the half-finished statue and frowned. "Maybe they're right," he whispered. "Maybe I'm not good enough." Every mistake he made screamed louder in his mind than the sound of his tools. He began covering the statue every evening, afraid someone might see it and laugh. The masterpiece he dreamed of started to look like a burden. Days passed, then weeks. Dan's passion turned into hesitation. One night, a hermit who lived high on the mountain came down to fetch water. He saw Dan sitting beside the covered statue, his head in his hands. "Why so sad, young one?" the hermit asked. Dan sighed. "Everyone says I'll fail. Maybe they're right. I don't know if I should continue." The hermit looked at the covered statue and said, "Do you know how mountains are formed?" Dan shook his head. "They are shaped by everything that tries to destroy them. The wind, the rain, the storms. But the mountain never shouts back. It just stands, silent and strong, until even the storm gets tired." Dan looked up, listening. The hermit continued, "Your thoughts are like that mountain. If you let every passing noise enter it, you'll crumble from within. But if you stand guard, if you protect your silence, no storm can move you." Something in those words lit a spark inside him. The next morning, Dan uncovered the statue again. He picked up his hammer and whispered, "Let them talk. I'll let my work answer them." He carved in silence for months. The voices below continued, but now they sounded distant, like wind against a mountain. Finally, one morning, the statue was done. It stood tall, a breathtaking figure of a man holding a flame, symbolizing strength and resilience. People gathered around, amazed. The same ones who had mocked him now applauded. But Dan didn't smile because of their praise. He smiled because their words, good or bad, no longer mattered. The hermit returned and looked at the statue with pride. He said softly, "Do you hear the noise now?" Dan smiled. "I hear it, but it no longer reaches me." The hermit nodded. "Then you've learned the greatest art, not carving stone, but carving silence in your own mind. The world will always be noisy, full of opinions, judgments, and distractions. But your mind is your mountain. Protect it, guard it, because only in silence can you hear your true voice."